Yes.
So can anyone tell me what does it mean? What do you think? What does it mean? When the child is empowered by the parents at various phases of growth, the child transforms into a responsible citizen. Empowered means given that authority, given that permission, that is empowering. Transform means totally changed. Various phases of growth means when the child is teenager, and when he or she becomes an adult, that are the various phases of growth. First, infant. So, at various phases of growth, when the child is given that authority, that support by the parents, then definitely the parents can make their children responsible citizen of the country. But they must empower them, they must support them, they must always guide them. Only then he or she grows up to be a responsible citizen. So, first of all, the name of the chapter. So, if anyone who is only watching the recording, they should know which chapter is going on. Sometimes we are not able to find out which chapter is being taught, right? But only when you start recording, the first thing should be the name of the chapter. You should know which chapter we are reading, chapter number and chapter name. So remember, we were reading here. Do you all
Yes.
remember?
Yes.
The last thing I told you, where did I stop? Here?
Yes.
Okay. Reading we had done from here or not? Or is it left? Okay, Miss Ba, you read.
Jimmy then went to the Pantos Hotel and registered as Spencer and engaged a room. He opened a shoe store and secured a good gun of trade.
Why did you stop? Continue.
Okay, sir. Socially, he was a success and made many friends. He met Miss Annabel Adams and became more and more captivated by her charm. By the end of the year, Mr. Ralph Spencer had won the respect of the community. His shoe store was flourishing, and he and Annabel were engaged to be married in 2 weeks. One day, Jimmy sat down in his room and wrote a letter which he mailed to the safe address of one of his old friends.
So now Jimmy went to Planters Hotel, that is the name of hotel, and he changed his identity. He booked a room, but not in the name of Jimmy Valentine. He registered as Ralph D. Spencer, and then in Elmore he opened a shoe shop, a shoe store. He secured a good run of trade. Means what? Means his business was really doing well. He was earning good profit from the business of the shoe store, and socially he was success. See, now in the new town Elmore, no one knew about his past, that he was a safe cracker. So he made new friends, and socially he earned respect, because if your business is really doing well, then definitely you will have good friends in the community and in the market. So Jimmy Valentine now was no more Jimmy Valentine, he was Ralph D. Spencer. Everyone respected him. He met Annabelle Adams and he was more and more attracted by her. And just in 1 year, Ralph D. Spencer, he was a respectable citizen now, and he was running a really good trade. He was earning a really good profit. As it is written, his business was flourishing, means his business was really growing at a good speed. And he also convinced Annabelle Adams, and they both were engaged. And in the next 15 days, they were going to get married. But before getting married, Jimmy wanted to destroy all the clues that would prove him a criminal. What were the clues? What was the proof that he wanted to destroy? What was the thing that was with him that would prove him a criminal? Which things did he have
The
with
tool
him that he
uh,
wanted to give away?
he have
You are not audible, Modesa. Your voice is not clear.
the tools which he have with him in a suitcase.
Yes, so now the tools, the set of burglars' tools, Odgers, clams, jimmies, all that tools that he has in that suitcase, that he has to give away. So now he'll give it away to one of his friends who is still a burglar, so that he can use it. But now Jimmy is a transformed man, so he doesn't want to use it. See, he's writing a letter to his friend that come and meet me on Wednesday. I will give you all the things that I have. Continue. Read this letter.
Dear old pal, I want you to be at Sullivan's place in Little Rock next Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. I want you to wind up some little matters for me. And also, I want to make you a present of my kit of tools. I know you will be glad to get them. You could not duplicate the lot of $1,000. Say, Billy, I I have quit the old business a year ago. I have got a new nice store. I am making an honest living, and I am going to marry the finest girl on the earth 2 weeks from now. I tell you, believe she is an angel. She believes in me, and I won't do another crooked thing for the whole world. Your old friend Jimmy.
Okay. There were some words like dear old Pul, then Sullivan's place. So Little Rock is the name of the place. Sullivan's place in the Little Rock, that is the address where Jimmy called his friend. What is the meaning of Pul? That means an old friend. Jimmy wrote this letter to his old friend, and what was the name of his old friend?
Billy.
Yes, means cat, right? Did he call cat?
इसका नाम होगा इसलिए.
But it is Billy. बिल्ली तो कैट हुई ना. In this letter, he wrote that he is going to get married, and because he is marrying the girl who is the best girl he has ever known, so he wants to quit the business of robbery. He does not want to do anything wrong now, so he wants to give away the set of burglar's tools, that suitcase, to his friend. And he has also written that in the next 2 weeks he is going to get married, and so he won't do any crooked thing, he won't do anything wrong now. So please come on Wednesday at Sullivan's place and take all these tools from me. He wrote the letter. Then next. Don't take so long, continue reading.
Okay, sir. On the Monday night after Jimmy wrote his letter, Ben Price entered Elmore. Elmore. He launched about town in his quick way until he found out what he wanted to know. From the drugstore across the street from Spencer's shoe store, he got a good look at Ralph D. Spencer. Going to marry the banker's daughter, are you, Jimmy? Said Ben to himself softly. Well, I don't know. The
Okay,
next
when was Jimmy going to meet his friend Billy? On which day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Wednesday. But before that, Monday, someone came to Elmore. Who came to Elmore? Ben Price. He was already looking for Jimmy. So quit, before Jimmy could destroy all the clues, all the hints, it was Monday night, and Ben Price entered Elmore. So now it was a threat for Jimmy. Launched means he was passing the time ideally without any work. Ben Price was roaming about, and he was trying to find out where is Jimmy Valentine. But now he is no more Jimmy Valentine. He has become Ralph D. Spencer. So there was a drugstore. The meaning of drugstore is already written. You know what is a drugstore, right? Medical, where the things are sold. All the things are sold. So there was a drugstore there on the street where Jimmy had his shoe shop. जस्ट अक्रॉस द स्ट्रीट, मतलब स्ट्रीट की दूसरी साइड पे एक ड्रग स्टोर था, वहाँ पे बैठ के बैन प्राइस सब नोटिस कर रहा था. मीन्स ही वॉज वॉचिंग दिस मैन राल्फ डी स्पेंसर, बट ही वॉजंट श्योर दैट is he Jimmy or not, because he was totally changed, his looks were totally changed, he was selling shoes in the shoe store. So Ben Price was not able to identify, is it really Jimmy going to marry the banker's daughter? Means someone might have told him that this man whose shoe shop you can see across the street, he is going to get married with the banker's daughter. So Ben Price was confused. He was talking to himself. I don't know. Are you really Jimmy? So Ben Price was also a bit confused that how can Jimmy Valentine run a shoe store and is doing the work honestly? How is it possible? Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we will continue. We will continue now.
Okay, next.
Yes.
The next morning, Jimmy was to leave town to meet his friend. That would be the first time he had left town since he came to Elmer. It had been more than a year now since those last professional job, and he thought he could safely venture out. After breakfast, Mr. Adams, Annabel, Jimmy, and Annabel's married sister, with her two girls aged 5 and 9, left for the bank. Jimmy brought along his suitcase.
Okay.
Mr. Adams
So next morning, wait, I have put that red mark, so that you have to stop. So here next morning was Jimmy was to leave the town to meet his friend. So now next morning means Wednesday morning, Jimmy was about to leave the town, Elmore. See, for how long was he in Elmore? How much time, for how much long time he had been to
One
Elmore
year.
now? 1 year.
1 year.
So now it has been 1 year. ये 1 year में वो कभी एल्मोर से बाहर ही नहीं गया था because he was afraid he would be caught. But now he thought that it has been 1 year, so police or anyone might not be looking for him because as the time passes, everything is forgotten. So he thought that now it is safe to venture out. Venture out means to take a risk. Jimmy thought that now it is safe for me if I step out of Elmore. No one will know now because more than 1 year I have not done anything wrong. So they had breakfast in the morning. It was Wednesday morning. Now see how many people were there. Mr. Adams, Annabelle, the girl, Jimmy himself. Annabelle's married sister was there and she had two little children, girls. One was 5 and one was 9 years old. And they left for the bank. Jimmy was going to meet his friend, but उससे पहले वो लोग बैंक गए सब. Why? Jimmy brought along his suitcase. See, Jimmy सीधा बैंक से ही उसके friend को मिलने जाने वाला था because Jimmy had already written that letter to his friend Billy. So he thought that after visiting bank, after seeing that new vault, he would directly go to his friend to meet his friend at Sullivan's place. So he took along his suitcase with him. He thought that directly from the bank he'll go to meet his friend. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Continue. Please don't waste
Mr.
time. Continue.
Adams, suddenly there was a scream or two
What?
from the
What?
woman,
You
and
skipped this. This is totally left.
Mr. Adams wanted to show everyone the new safe and vault. He had installed it. He had installed the vault was small one, but it had a new door. Is fastened with three solid steel bolts drawn simultaneously with a single handle
Simultaneously.
and simultaneously with a single handle, and had a time clock. The two children, May and Agatha, were delighted by the shining metal and funny clocks and knobs. While they were thus engaged, Ben Price walked in, looking
Casually.
uh, casually inside between the railings. He told the teller that he didn't want anything. He was just waiting for a man he knew.
Okay. So now what happened? Mr. Adams, he took all these people to the bank because Mr. Adams wanted to show safe and vault that he had installed. मतलब बैंक में नया safe और vault लाए थे वो, a kind of तिजोरी you can say, where all the ornaments are kept. You know, locker of the bank, which is safe and only you know the combination, you know the password. Only then you can open. You might have seen in movies.
Yes.
So the vault was a small one, but it had a new door. It fastened with three solid steel bolts. So how was it made? उसका जो appearance है वो बोला है that three bolts were there simultaneously with a single handle. तो एक ही handle पे एक ही line में three bolts थे. There were three bolts in a single line, and also it had a time clock. Now if you have seen in movies, there is also a time clock. उसमें clock भी रखी होती है वो जो locker के बाहर, where you enter the password, the combination, and you can turn the knobs. जो door का जो opener होता है, door knob, you turn it and you have to set the combination. Only then it will open. You might have seen in movies. Many movies they show. First you have to uh, you have to turn the doorknob, you have to set the proper combination of the clock, password, and then only it will open. The people who keep crores of rupees and ornaments, cash, and all that, they use this. It is very safe. Have you seen in movies?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so that kind of safe and vault he had installed, Mr. Adams. So he showing to everyone, and there were two children. Now, what were the names of the girls? May and Agatha. That were the names. They were both very happy. They were happy because of this funny clock and knobs. They were playing. For them, it was a play. Knobs means door knob, opener, handle of the door. And they were playing, and all others were watching Safe and Walt. Jimmy, Annabelle, and everyone was busy. And then Ben Price entered the bank, and he was hiding and he was looking at this family. He did not come in front of anyone. He was just hiding and he was just looking at them. And there was a teller. What is the meaning of teller? The person who receives and pays out money, like a cashier. There was a man who asked Ben Price that, yes, what do you want? Then he said, no, I don't want anything. I'm just waiting for one man that I know. So, whom was he waiting for?
Jimmy Valentine.
Yes. Continue.
Yes. Suddenly there was a scream or two from the woman, and a commotion, unperceived
Unperceived.
by the elders, May, the 9-year-old girl, in a spirit of play, had shut Agatha in the vault. She had then shut the bolts and turned the knob of the combination, as she had seen Mr. Adams do. The old banker sprang to handle and tugged at it for a moment. "The door can't be opened," he groaned. "The clock has been wound, nor the combination set." Agatha's mother screamed again, hys-
Hysterically.
hysterically. hysterically. They could just hear the faint sound of the child weakly shrieking in the dark vault in a panic of terror. "My precious darling," wailed the mother, "she will die of fright. Open the door. Oh, break it open. Can't you men do something?" Annabel turned to Jimmy, her large eyes uh, fall on anguish, but
Full of
not yet
anguish.
despairing. Full of anguish, but not yet despairing. To a woman, nothing seemed quite impossible to the powers of the man she worshipped. "Can't you do something, Ralph? Try, won't you?"
Okay. So, as they were busy looking at the safe and the vault, suddenly the women started shouting. There was a commotion. Commotion means there was some confusion. This Annabelle's sister and Annabelle herself, they started shouting. Why? Because Agatha, sorry, May, who was 9 year old, she had shut Agatha in the vault. Agatha was 5 years old and May was 9 years old. They were both playing. So by mistake, May shut Agatha in the vault. By mistake, she locked her inside. And then she turned the knob. उसने कुछ combination भी set कर दिया गलती से. She turned the knobs. She turned the handle, and she set a combination. But she was a child. She doesn't remember what combination she has set. She had just seen Mr. Adams doing that, and she did it. She imitated him. Got it?
Yes,
She doesn't remember the combination. How would she open? And then the old banker sprang. The old banker means Mr. Adams. He jumped and he tried to open it. Tugged means strong pull. He tried to open it, but it was hopeless. The door was not opening. He was about to cry because he said the clock hasn't been wound nor the combination set. कि कुछ combination set ही नहीं किया और जो clock है the clock hasn't been wound. Wound means wrap. The clock wasn't set, and the way she turned the knobs, we don't know now how to open it because only she did it out of curiosity. The girl May. So no one was there when she locked her inside by mistake. So that man shouted, and Agatha's mother was also screaming hysterically. hysterically means uncontrollably she was screaming, because after all she was a mother and her child was locked, and they were both shrieking and shouting. And the vault, inside the vault was the girl Agatha, and she was also shouting from inside. She was also afraid, and this mother was shouting, "She will die, please open the door, someone please break open the door." And then Annabelle will obviously look at Jimmy, right? Because Annabelle will expect Jimmy to do something, because she was going to get married to him. So she was also looking at Jimmy, but she was not hopeless. Here it is written, not yet despairing. Despairing means hopeless. Means she was not hopeless. She was hoping that Jimmy would do something and take her out. Though she was not knowing that Jimmy was a safe cracker in the past. Here it is written, to a woman nothing seems impossible. Nothing seems quite impossible to the powers of the man she worships. So for a woman, if she worships a man, if she is going to get married to a man, then she thinks that he can do anything for her. Same way, Annabelle thought that Jimmy means actually Ralph for her. He would definitely do something. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
finally, Annabelle asked this question to Ralph, means Jimmy, you can say. Can't you do something, Ralph? Try. Won't you even try? Means, will you not take her out? She is my sister's daughter. Who will read now? Aisha, will you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, quickly.
He threw off his coat and pulled out his shirt sleeves with that act. Ralph Dispenser passed it away and Jimmy's Valentine took his place. Get away from the door, all of you, he commanded shortly. He set his suitcase on the table and opened in our flat. From that time on, he seemed to be unconscious,
Unconscious.
unconscious of unconscious of the presence of anyone else. He laid out the shining quail implements implements swiftly, swift,
Swiftly.
swiftly and orderly, whis- orderly whistling softly to himself as he always did when at work. In a deep silence and immovable, the other watched him as if under a spell.
Okay. Under a spell means when you are surprised, like you see that a kind of magic is happening in front of you, that you are not able to believe your eyes. ऐसे सब देख रहे थे जिमी को. You understood why? Means you understood what is written over here.
Yes.
He threw off his coat. Means
No.
as soon as Annabelle told Jimmy, "Won't you do anything? Won't you take her out?" So Jimmy really loved Annabelle, and so he forgot, like, now he is Ralph D. Spencer. He is not Jimmy. But this time, for saving the life of the girl, he forgot everything. He removed his coat, he threw away the coat, and pulled up his shirt sleeves. मतलब उसने sleeves चढ़ा लिया ऊपर. And now Ralph D. Spencer had gone away. Jimmy Valentine really came into action, because here the need was of a safe cracker who can break the vault. और जिमी already expert था इसमें. He was already an expert. So finally Jimmy Valentine came into action, and he shouted loudly, "Everyone get away!" Means he wanted the space. Everyone was at near the vault. So he had that suitcase. Remember, he was going to take it to his friend.
Yes.
Suitcase was already with
Yes.
him, and now he will use it. It was good that he had suitcase with him. So he opened the suitcase. He took out all the tools, and he was unconscious. Means he was not aware that everyone is standing around him. वो सब भूल गया for few minutes. Unconscious means you are not in your senses. You forget. You don't know what is happening around you. That is unconscious. So he became unconscious. He forgot that everyone was present around him, that his truth will come out, but he did not pay attention to anything. He was just whistling. When Jimmy was cracking the safe in the past, he used to whistle. While at work, he used to enjoy doing that robbery. So this time also he was whistling and he was in his own world, and he was trying to open the vault, and he forgot that everyone else was also present over there, and others means Annabelle's sister, and Mr. Adams. Everyone was watching Jimmy, like they were surprised. They were under a spell that how is he trying to open this vault? Where did these tools come from? Right? Because they were not aware that Jimmy is having all the tools in the suitcase, and he can open the vault. Understood?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
See, here is the scene. Everyone was looking at him. And who is this man?
Ben Fry, the detective.
Yes, yes, Detective Ben Price. But these people don't know. Even Jimmy doesn't know that he is watching. Let's see. Continue.
Okay, sir. In a minute, Jimmy's pet drill was beating smoothly into
Biting.
the steel door, biting smoothly into the steel door. In 10 minutes, breaking his own burglaries record, he threw
Burglarious
back
record.
the burglarious record. He threw back the bolts and opened the door. Agatha almost collapsed, but safe, was gathered into her mother's arms. Jimmy's Valentine put on his coat and walked outside the railing towards the front door. As he went, he thought he heard a far away voice that the ones knew called Ralph, but he never hesitated. At the door, a big man stood somewhat in his way. "Hello, Ben," said Jimmy, still with his strange smile. Got around at last. Have you? Well, let's go. I don't know that it makes much difference now." And then Ben Price acted rather strangely. "Guess
Okay.
you are
Okay,
mistaken."
wait. Yes. Okay, let it be. So now Jimmy was trying to open this safe, and in just 1 minute, his drilling machine, this machine you might have seen for opening this kind of vault. Have you seen this machine?
Yes, yes,
Drilling machine.
yes, sir.
Yes.
So this pad drill
Yes,
means his tool was biting into the steel door. Steel door को bite करके means biting in the sense he was trying to open it, break it open, and the steel door will break in 10 minutes. So within 10 minutes, he broke his own past records, because in the past when he cracked the safes, he never did this in 10 minutes. So today he broke this safe in 10 minutes, and his burglarious record, मतलब उसका जो चोरी का जो record था, past record, he broke that records, and he threw back the bolts तोड़ दिए उसने, and he opened the door. So Agatha was safe. She collapsed, means she fell down in mother's arms, but she was safe. Nothing wrong had happened to her. And Jimmy Valentine, then he wore his coat जो उसने उतार लिया था पहले. Now he wore his coat and he started walking outside. Did you know why did he start walking outside? Because he thought, now he came back to his senses, that now everyone will know my truth and Annabelle will not marry me. He was sure that now he will have to give answers to the questions of all these people, that where did this suitcase come from, where did this tool come from, and how did you know to open this steel door. But he did not want to answer all these questions. He started walking outside, but there was one man standing near the door, and he heard the voice. Someone called him Ralph. But he never hesitated, means he never doubted, because he knew whose voice this was. So whose voice that was?
Ben Price.
Yes. But he called him with the name Ralph. He did not call him Jimmy because all others were standing there. So there was a big man who was standing at the door and somewhat in his way. मतलब उसके बीच में like Jimmy was going outside, but before he could go outside, one man stood in his way, and Jimmy knew this man, that this was Ben Price. This man was Ben Price. So Jimmy greeted him. Hello, Ben. Got around at last. Have you? Means Jimmy said to Ben Price that finally you found me, right? After 1 year. So Jimmy surrendered. उसने surrender कर दिया. He said, "Let's go." I don't know if that it makes much difference now. So Jimmy was actually transformed man now. He was really a good citizen now, and he was not doing anything wrong for last 1 year. So he said, "It doesn't make much difference even if you arrest me now. I am ready to come with you." So he surrendered. And then Ben Price acted rather strangely. But what should Ben Price do? Actually, Ben Price should arrest Jimmy, right? Because after he was released from the jail, Jimmy had done 3 robberies. Do you remember?
Yes,
तो उसकी punishment
yes,
तो मिलनी चाहिए ना. So Ben Price acted strangely. Means he did not arrest him. Guess you are mistaken, Mr. Spencer. Don't believe I recognize you. So what did Ben Price say to Jimmy? Ben Price said that I think you are mistaken. You are Mr. Spencer, and I don't know you. Who are you? And Ben Price turned and strolled down the street. Strolled means to wander, to walk down the street. Ben Price said, "Sorry, Mr. Spencer, I don't know you. I think you are mistaken." Like that, he said these words and he walked down the street. Understood? Why?
yes,
Why? Tell me, why did he walk down the street and did not arrest him when Jimmy was himself ready to surrender and he identified him?
because he had not done anything wrong past 1 year.
Only that reason?
Because he saved a life
Yes,
of
exactly.
a girl.
Because, yes, he now, Ben Price saw that with the help of these tools, he saved the life of a girl. So this man cannot do anything wrong now. He is a transformed man now. So he let him go. This is also in one of the movies. I don't know you have seen or not.